Hi. Hey, this is Tim Brown, and this is for my week 4, Monday, for EDCI 569, and that's Research and Educational Technology with Concordia University out of Portland. The interesting thing about this course for Research and Educational Technology is we are supposed to use screencast. Unfortunately, screencast allows you a short, like 5-minute freebie session once when you click on the link that we're provided, and then that's it. And if you want to try to use it after that, guess what? You have to pay for it. So I have YouTube, and I have a YouTube channel, and my YouTube doesn't cost me any money, so that's what I'm going to try to do. And I'm going to try to flip around to show you what we're talking about. So what we're going to do is we're going to discuss about a really important topic of how you can be the educational leader you were meant to be. All right? And really what we're talking about is the ISTE standards for educators and coaches. Now, as an educator, it's important that we are learners, that we learn about our technology, that we learn what to do, and then we want to lead the field. We want to be able to teach other people. We want to lead our students in learning about technology. We want to be good citizens with that technology. In other words, we don't want to abuse the technology or misuse it, misdirect it. And well, of course, we collaborate. We talk to one another about it. We talk to each other and develop each other. Now, I had over here to my left another bit of technology, and hopefully I can get into it. So just one moment while I go through my security protocol on this. And so we'll continue to talk about the fact that we're also designers. We're constantly designing something, and that's what I'm doing right now by utilizing this YouTube video creation. I am designing a PowerPoint presentation that can be used to teach others. And then, of course, we want to be a facilitator, and that's what I'm doing too. Then we want to analyze how effective is everything, and we want to make sure everything is effective. And of course, educators are also like coaches, and they are the change agents, the connected learner, the collaborator. And if you notice, coaches and educators have the same thing. They're both collaborators. They're both learning designers. Coaches are professional learning facilitators. They're data-driven decision makers, and teachers are always constantly making decisions. Digital citizen advocate. They promote digital citizens. So there's a lot of similarities, if you look at this, between the two that, are important. And if I can get my tablet, right, over here, we have what we call ISTE standards. Now, this is found at iste.org. And what's really important is we talk about in some of our discussions about equality. And so let's look at something here. When we talk about equality, that means everybody should have access to technology. If you're going to teach technology, it should not matter what their background is or who they are. We do have some problems in our public education system. That means that not all things are created equal, and not everybody has equal access all the time, and unfortunately that's sad. Now, some of our readings this week are about that. Now, educators, like I said, will go ahead and do this down, but educators are learners. They're continually improving their practice by learning from and with others and exploring proven and promising practices. Educators are leaders. They seek out opportunities for leadership. They look for ways to lead, to teach everybody. I mean, that's what we do. We go out and we take the initiative to say, hey, this is a new technology and you need to learn about it. And then we also want to be inspiring our students to positively contribute to and be responsible to participate in the digital world. We're also, like I said, we're the collaborators and the designers and the facilitators and the analysts. We design authentic, learner-driven activities and environments that recognize and accommodate learner variability, okay? So these are all the ISTE. And then, of course, you have the facilitator and that. And that's what we're doing right here is we're designing, we're facilitating, we're analyzing. Is this good? And does everybody have equal connectivity? It's like a lot of people look at this and they go, well, I don't have, a tablet. I don't have a laptop. So how do we make sure that people get access to these same technological wonders to access this information? And that becomes part of my research, which is I call the educational dilemma. And that's how do we make sure that technology is, first off, it's needed, all right? And then secondly, that it is provided equitably to everybody. Now, with that in mind, here, I see, there's always technological glitches here. All right, go back up to the PowerPoint. All right. And then we go here. And so how do we facilitate growth? What are the ways that we encourage educators to include in their professional development plans things about this? And what increases the access and the opportunities for educators? These are the questions that are posed in tonight's project. And how do the materials and the required studies develop a rationale for my choice? My choice to look at the dilemma of incorporating technology into, the educational public education system. And that becomes a difficult thing because not all educators are created equal. They come from different walks of life. We have some educators that actually grew up with technology in their hands. And then we have others. I mean, some of the material that I've researched talks about how you have digital natives and you have what is known as digital immigrants. And the older generations are considered to be digital immigrants, people that did not grow up with technology in their hands. Now, I don't know who came up with that. I cannot think about it off the top of my head, but I'm not an immigrant. However, I haven't constantly used technology in the educational arena. Now, we want to come back over here, and what I want to do is I want to look at some of the other standards here for coaches. And like I said, you can find all this at ISTE.org, which is the standards for technology and education. It's the International Society for Technology and Education. So this is the standard for coaches here. And I use this multiple platform between my phone here and the laptop and this tablet to show that we can utilize many aspects of technology to deliver content knowledge. And so we have here, like I said, coaches. They are a change agent. They inspire educators and leaders to use technology to create equitable and ongoing access to high quality learning. That's what coaches do. They also are a connected learner. They model the ISTE standards and the students and the ISTE standards for educators and identify ways to improve their coaching practice. So what do we do? It's like what I wanted to do is, okay, let's go back over here. What are the ways to encourage educators to include in their professional development plans things about technology? Well, you know, the more you know, the more you grow. And if you are a true professional, you're going to seek out ways in which to improve upon yourself, to be a better version of you than what you were yesterday. And the only way to do that is to seek out, to use the corny phrase out of Star Trek, seek out new life and go where no one has gone before. Basically, that's what educators need to do. They need to realize that, okay, everything that they have in their world is constantly changing, constantly evolving. And everybody has a right to learn this stuff. When I got involved with starting this Master of Education program that I'm in, I was not aware of the ISTE standards. I did not know they existed. And that was a learning curve for me. But the more I learned, the more I wanted to know. And the more I wanted to know, the more I wanted to grow. And I want to make an impact in the world. I want to make a difference in the world, not just to students, but to the adults as well. And to me, that's very important. So that's why I call it the educational dilemma. How do we deal with this? How do we move forward? Is technology a good, inclusive matter for furthering education, or has it been a hindrance? Are we faced with some socioeconomic problems? And educators are frustrated with this. They're constantly faced with this on a daily basis. Not all students come into the classroom well equipped to handle the technology, nor do they all have the technology capable. So that in and of itself becomes a problem. So what we want to do is we want to kind of, as an educator, blend ourselves to be not just an educator, but also a coach. Also try to help others become better parts or better people or better equipped to do the things that they need to do. And in order to do that, coaches have to be a collaborator. They have to be a learning designer. They have to be a professional learning facilitator. They plan, provide, and evaluate the impact of professional learning for educators and leaders to use technology to advance teaching and learning. And they're data-driven decision makers. Coaches model and support the use of qualitative and quantitative data to inform their own instruction and professional learning. So coaches model. So to some respects, I consider myself more of a coach than I am an educator, but at the same time, I consider myself an educator because I've spent a number of years in the educational field. And what I do is any of my improvement things, I put in to my professional development plan, my individual development plan, my educational development plan. It's all in there. And in what increases the access and opportunities to educators? People that support them. That's what increases the access and opportunities. Where I work at, they gave me an absolutely wonderful opportunity to go to the Virginia Acme seminar that was held in Virginia Beach last year, to where I got to see all kinds of collaborators in the educational field doing wonderful things for our militarily educated members of the military community. And then they sent me to Professional Development Institute, which was up in Massachusetts. And that was phenomenal because I was able to collaborate with people from all different branches in the military that provide the voluntary education system, that provide counseling techniques, that provide leadership capabilities. And so this is what increases the access and opportunities for educators is other people that are in the education field doing what they can to help educators and to help coaches to go beyond where they're at, to become something more than they are. And then how do the materials and the required studies develop? Well, when we have the required materials that we read, it gives us background and knowledge and experience on what people have done in the past. And it also identifies some of the problem areas that education faces. So the more informed we are, the better equipped we become to look for the solutions to the problems that we face. So how do we face the solution of the educational dilemma? That's yet to be determined and yet to be seen, but the more people that get on board to do the things necessary in order to incorporate technology into the classroom, the better equipped our educators and our coaches are going to be to deliver the proper use of technology into our public education system. I hope this has been helpful. I hope this has been informative. And I wanted to point out that these are the references that I had. I just think that sometimes the use of technology can be overwhelming. Sometimes the use of technology can be expensive, but a lot of times technology can be a lot of fun. And if you approach it from the perspective of learning and expanding your capabilities and your abilities, and then passing that along to your students, you'll find that you will be enriched by what learning about technology is all about. Now, I've grown up with technology. I've seen the evolution, the changes that technology has had. I've not constantly seen the change in the public education system. However, I see how it's changing our society. Now, in the public education, through this class, I have learned that there's a great deal of changes that are out there in our public education system that parents, teachers, and leaders alike in the education field need to be aware of, and they need to learn about and to expand their knowledge on in order to best facilitate, best manage, and be good digital citizen leaders of technology. So take the time, learn. I mean, sometimes it's overwhelming, and that's something that I've found, is that can be overwhelming in learning the new technology, especially if you've been out of the classroom for a few years like I have been. And so there is a lot to learn, and it's ever changing, it's ever molding. But everybody should be given equal opportunity to access this technology, no matter where they come from, no matter who they are, and no matter what it is. Everybody has a right to be well educated, and that is inclusive of the use of our technology. Again, my name is Tim Brown. I would like to thank you for your time. Thank you for the opportunity to serve you. I hope you have a pleasant and wonderful day. And remember, always pay it forward. Take care of somebody else. Reach one, teach one. All right, we'll talk to you later. Bye.